When's the time of the year where you usually see people want to make a lot of change? It's usually January 1st, like right when the new year starts. Either it's weight loss, I'm gonna stop smoking cigarettes, I'm gonna start drinking, I'm gonna do, it's a lot of things that could happen. Now, I'm not knocking any of that. I think New Year resolutions are amazing. I wanna give you a quote and some information that could help you out if you are thinking about changing. It's a quote from BJ Fogg. And he mentions, find the behavior you want, and then find the behavior you want, make it tiny, and find out where it fits in your life naturally, and then nurture that. So what he's saying, or what I believe he's saying, is the change that you want to see, right, is probably a behavior that you're gonna probably have to adapt. If you wanna become better or more consistent with fitness, you have to become a consistent person with fitness, not make fitness consistent, right? So you have to become the person that wants the actual goal that you're after. But something that he says that most people maybe overlook or think is not as effective is make it tiny. Let's just say you were thinking about running a marathon, right? I've never run a marathon, but I can tell you, you have to break that goal down. You're not gonna run, I think, 26 miles? I think 26.5 miles for a marathon. I may be wrong on that part, but you're not gonna do that in one day. So what you probably have to do is certain days run a mile, certain days run 4. You have to make it tiny. But the thing that I love what he says is find out where it fits naturally in your life. Where is there a gap in your life to start becoming that goal, adopting that behavior? And if you look carefully at your whole day, your whole week, you'll probably see a gap where that would fit naturally. Like for people who usually say they want to be consistent with fitness, right? If they wake up at 9 a.m. and they go to work from like 10 to 5, I'm going to say there's probably a big gap in your morning where you could do a workout. Similar to faith, if people ask, Drew, how can I be more consistent reading the Bible? I ask them, what do you read normally all day? Do you have social media, right? I'm not against social media. If you're on it for 3 hours a day, you probably can sacrifice a half an hour. Think, where can this fit naturally in my life at the moment? So number one, you want to think about, how can I make this tiny? How can I make it so tiny that I don't overlook it and I don't procrastinate it? Often we think that when we make changes, it has to be humongous, that the change needs to be like earth-shattering. We have to do total reinvention, total rebranding, and that's not really true. You can make a small, tiny habit. Tiny habit I used to have when I wanted to study the Bible regularly. My habit was I'm going to read 5 days a week for 7 minutes. That's what it was. 5 days a week, 7 minutes. Now it's 7 days in a week, so I had 7 days to play around with, and I wanted to do 5 out of those 7 days. Now, the first time I did it, 7 minutes, I was like, this is whack. This is not gonna accomplish anything. Over the period of time, I started realizing if I wasn't studying and I was adding in 7 minutes, 5 days a week, that's 35 minutes a week. That's 70 minutes every 2 weeks. That's 140 minutes a month that I wasn't even doing. So I started small, and then gradually I found out maybe I can go 10, maybe I can go 15. And gradually I got to where I'm at now, which is about a half an hour, right? I did an hour at one time for a while, but I found out I was literally just zoning out and not really paying attention. Tiny, make it tiny. Number two, where does it naturally fit? And here's my bonus, right? Who can you get to be an accountability partner, or I would say a buddy along the journey? I'm always going to advise you guys, if you pick someone to do this with you, pick somebody who wants it as bad as you want it, right? Usually your best friend is not that person. They don't want it as bad as you want it. Pick somebody who wants it as bad as you want it, and then go from there, right? If you choose a goal that you want to get after and someone's on a journey with you who's just as hungry, it makes it more fun, you're more accountable, you're consistent. I would give a bonus tip of when I was doing that Bible regiment, when I wanted to get better at studying, I would have a calendar and I would mark off every day that I did my study. And over time, I started seeing all of those small wins that added up, and they became big wins. Small wins become big wins, but I believe you need a consistent amount of small wins for momentum, motivation, and to keep your mind in the game. So if you're thinking about changing, if that's something that you're trying to do and you're thinking about changing with fitness or faith, hit me up. I would love to work with you, or just hit me up. I may have people who you can work with that may be a better fit. Be great, guys. I'm out of here.